Today we're checking out the Barricade HD Bull Bar with skid plate and a 20-inch dual row LED light bar in stainless steel for the 2007 to 2018 Silverado 1500s. If you want some serious front end protection, upgraded lighting, and a tougher overall look, then this is definitely going to be worth checking out. This bull bar adds a lot of utility up front. The substantial 3.5-inch steel tube structure serves as a strong front bumper guard, helping protect your grille, bumper, and your undercarriage from rocks, brush, and other hazards out there on the road. The integrated skid plate underneath the bar provides undercarriage defense, shielding those vital components from damage during off-road use or even some on-road debris. What's really going to set this apart is going to be the included 20-inch dual row LED light bar that puts out that 6500 Kelvin, also known as daylight, or that bright white that has a little bit of a blue hue in it. This uses a combo spot flood beam pattern that balances long-range visibility with wide peripheral lighting, which is great for early morning and late evening driving. The LEDs are housed in textured black aluminum with a clear, durable polycarbonate lens, and it's all going to be IP67 waterproof rated, which means they'll stand up to rain, splashes, and no dust is going to get in there over time. The whole unit is finished with a textured black powder coat finish and resists corrosion, and it's going to integrate nicely with the rugged style of your F-150's front end. So overall, this is a really clean stainless steel build that has a little flash, and the high quality lighting is a huge bonus at the end. When it comes to the construction, like I mentioned, this is built from heavy duty tubular steel for the bull bar, and the skid plate is going to be made from very strong steel plating as well. This is going to be strong and resilient, the welds are solid, and the hardware included is robust enough to handle vibrations, impacts, and punishment out there on the trail without rocking loose over time. The seals and lens on the light bar are engineered to keep moisture out, and the powder coat finish protects against the elements as well. Now, as far as pricing goes on this, it's going to come in that low $600 price range. For very strong front-end protection, LED lighting, and an easy integration into your F-150's front-end setup, this is all coming in at a very reasonable price. This install is going to be rated just a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and you can have this installed in just 1 hour of your time if everything goes smooth. Now let's head on out to the shop, and we're going to give you a detailed walkthrough of exactly how this install process goes.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, ratchet, 17mm wrench, needle nose pliers, scissors or diagonal cutters, 10, 13, 16, and 19mm sockets, and a 13mm swivel socket.
What's up guys? Today we're installing a bull bar on our Silverado, so let's get started. So I'm going to start off by installing our wire harness. Now to make this a little bit easier, I'm just going to take this brace and get it out of here so I have better access to my negative terminal. But before I do anything, I'm going to take the fuse out of our inline fuse on our power wire. I'll put that to the side, we'll throw that back in at the end. And now I'm going to grab a 13mm swivel socket to remove these 4 bolts. Be careful when you're removing this that you're not bridging the positive and the negative. And I'm just going to get a good hand on here before I remove the last one. Slide that out of the way. So now you can pop the cover off of your positive terminal. Take a 10mm socket to remove the nut. And put your positive connector on there. Thread your nut back on. And tighten it back down. Then we're just going to do the same thing on our negative. Make sure you keep your ratchet away from positive while you're on your negative. Slide your negative on. reinstall your nut. And then tighten that down with that 10 mil socket. And then I'm gonna take my relay, tuck that back behind my battery. And then I'm gonna grab my switch that's going to the other side. I'm just gonna run it under this bar. Lay that across, and now I'll reinstall that brace. And then once again, just be careful with this while you install it. I'm gonna thread that first ball all the way in by hand so it'll hold it. And then take your 13 millimeter swivel socket to tighten it down. So now we're going to take the connector. We need to run this down to the ground. We've got a spot right in between the back of our headlight and our intake box where we can fish that down. And I'm just going to stick my hand under to grab it from the other side. So now I just need to clean up my wire for the switch that we're running over to the driver's side to go inside the cabin. So we've already got this harness right above our engine, so I'm just gonna zip tie it right to that. So I'm just gonna take a few zip ties across it and then we'll run it inside the cabin. And then cut off the excess of that zip tie with scissors or diagonal cutters. We're gonna get one more zip tie right above the brake booster, and then we can run this through the grommet right to the right of the brake booster and into the cabin. And then we've got that grommet, it's right next to the brake booster. It's gonna be a little bit hard to see. But we're gonna take our switch, we're gonna shove it through the grommet, and then we'll go inside the cabin and pull it out the other side. So now reach under the dash and pull your switch out. And then you can mount this wherever you'd like to. I'm gonna go right about here. That's gonna be right between my e-brake pedal and my regular brake pedal. And that's gonna make sure that it doesn't get caught behind the pedals at all. So peel back your double-sided tape and stick it down wherever you want it. So now that we have our wiring all set up, we can move on to installing our mounting brackets. Now, if you have tow hooks on your Silverado, you're gonna have to remove those before you install your brackets. Now, we don't have those, so I'm just gonna move on to installing these. So we're gonna slide them through these holes over the frame, and then we have double bolt plate and a single bolt plate that we're gonna put from the inside of the frame out. And then we've got some flat washers, lock washers, and nuts going on the other side of those studs. So now we're gonna take our bracket and slide it through that hole. Now we have a single bolt plate and a double bolt plate. The double bolt plate is going to be going on the inside of the frame rail. So now I'm going to take needle nose pliers to put my double bolt plate in. And then I'm going to get my flat washers and lock nuts onto those studs. And then I'm going to do that same thing with our single bolt plate. And then thread on your flat washer and nut. And then I'm going to push this up flat against our frame and take a 19 millimeter socket to tighten it down. Then do the same thing on your double bolt plate side. And then repeat on the other side. So now we need to assemble our bull bar and we can get this mounted up. We've got our light bar that we're just gonna drop right into the center section. And then we've got bolt with lock washer and flat washer going in each side. Thread the bolt into the threaded portion in your light bar. get the bolt in on the other side, and then you can take a 13mm socket to tighten them both down. So now I've got my buddy here to help me lift this on and get it bolted up. We've got a bolt with a flat washer going in through the outside, and then a flat washer and a lock nut on the inside. So now I'm going to take the connector for our light bar and I'm going to put it through the hole that we installed our mounting bracket through. That way it'll keep it nice and clean, you won't see the wire, and we can tie it up behind the bumper. So I'll just pass that through and then we'll hop underneath and finish up our wiring.
So now underneath, I'm going to be zip tying this to our bumper support bar. It's nice and out of the way of anything it shouldn't be near. So I've got my connector over the frame. And then I'm going to take the connector from the harness that we installed and plug it in. And then I'm just going to bunch up all of my excess wire and just zip tie it right to this bar. Grab a zip tie, run it around. And then take a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters and trim off the excess of that zip tie.
Now we can tighten down our bull bar with a 17mm wrench and a 16mm socket. And now the last thing we need to do is come back to our battery, grab our positive wire, and pop off the cover for our inline fuse. And then just pop that back in and tuck it down and out of the way. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Barricade HD bull bar with skid plate and 20-inch LED dual row LED light bar. It's stainless steel for your 2007 to 18 Silverado and Sierra 1500. Thank you for watching, and for all things Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.